Good evening, all, and welcome to the Footy Express Show with me, Shaun, your host. I hope you are happy to see me, but I imagine you'd be happier to see my guests this evening. So we are going to be talking English Premier League preview, and we will be discussing arguably the biggest clash this weekend, and that is Chelsea versus Manchester United, followed closely by Sheffield and Liverpool. We won't go there though. I don't know, maybe Tottenham and Burnley. I don't know. Anyway, if you have not subscribed or liked our channel, please do so, as well as on our social media pages. So, like I said, we are talking English Premier League preview, biggest fixture of the weekend, Chelsea versus Manchester United. It's going to be a cracker. So I have my two fabulous guests. I've got Bradley, Ola gonna win. I like that name. And I have Vanessa, who is probably one of the biggest Chelsea fans that I know of. Actually, I just want everybody to have a look at her t-shirt. Can you just show them your t-shirt? Right, that t-shirt says Frank is back. So Chelsea fans are still clearly believing in Frank Lampard. It is what it is. He is a legend. I don't blame you. So let's get into the fixtures. Into the picture, should I say. Bradley, over to you. Let's start with you. You are the guests at Stamford Bridge this weekend, so I will give it over to you. What do you expect out of this game this weekend?
Look, I expect a win and nothing less than a win. I think Man United right now, the couple of games that we've had has been a bit difficult. And yes, we've shown some vulnerabilities. But it's against Chelsea, which we've been beating for the past, 2 years. So hopefully Ole is going to win. So it's going to be a cracker. I have a feeling there's going to be at least 3-4 goals in it. I think both sets of fans need something good. So, yeah, maybe 4 to Man United and 0 to Chelsea.
Woo, that's quite ambitious. Vanessa, I'm going to give you a chance to fire back here.
That's very ambitious, and I'm sorry to inform you that it's definitely not going to happen. Maybe the other way around. No. I don't know. I haven't really watched as many games probably as you have, but with the highlights and so forth that I have seen, I think I'd really like to see us win. Obviously, I think it will be a very low score line, maybe hopefully a 1-0 or 2-1 or something like that. I don't see it big scoring only because I just don't think Chelsea's at that point right now. They're just not firing, And I think it's going to be a lot of emphasis on defending, so that we don't concede. And but I could be totally wrong. There might be lots of goals. I just feel that our firing power is not there, and we're creating the chances. The possession is there, but we're not finishing. And I think that could be literally a downfall, perhaps.
Yeah, that final third does seem to be an issue for Chelsea, and it seems to be Chelsea possession, not being able to finish in the final third. It's really just been the story of Chelsea's past season and a bit, including this season. So I hear what you're saying on that point. Bradley coming in strong there with a 4-0. I see the prediction is in there. Okay, nothing wrong with a little bit of confidence. Okay, so let's look at the injuries. So it is Tuchel versus Solskjaer. The only really injury concern for Chelsea right now is Thiago Silva. I would have liked to. I must admit, I would have liked to see him play simply because he's played under Tuchel before. So would have liked to see that relationship. Manchester United.
Is he actually injured though? I thought there's a chance that he could still feature.
He's nursing a muscle injury, as far as I understand.
Okay.
That's what I've seen in the news. Manchester United. It seems Pogba won't be fit as well. And wasn't he just about doing the things for Manchester United before the injury? I mean, the man was being praised. It went from Pogba out to wanting Pogba, for president?
No, I don't know. I think, yes, he was making the pots to happen in the time that
Right.
he was, but I think they've been playing also a bit better without him. I see that the likes of McTominay and Fred, just a bit more spunk in that midfield, and I think that's what we're looking for. Undoubtedly, Pogba is a great player. But I think also the fact that he's injured is given an opportunity for others to step it up because, McTominay for me is a key element in this team. So I expect him to be there holding off, particularly Mount. I think one of our key men to watch in that particular game. For me, I think that's the focus, but it's going to depend on who he puts in the center. Especially if he's going to go Jorginho and Kovacic, those two passes good. If there's a bit of a counter in, I think he's going to stop some of our counter attacks. So it's going to be interesting to see how they match up. And look, always up front, undoubtedly, we've got a good team, good attacking. James is also grown in the past couple of games, so some good attacking promise. So looking forward to it. Yes, vulnerabilities at the back as well. And I just hope this is not the game that Werner decides to show up. Because for me, when I heard that he's going to Chelsea, I think you're playing him wrong. I think he needs to be in the center and more for more games. And I promise you, that man did wonders at RB last season.
I agree with you. I also think he should be in the center. And I also think, I know we paid a lot of money for him and he's got a good record and so forth, but it doesn't mean that you're just going to come into a new team and you're just going to perform. Sometimes you have to sort of earn your spot there as well. And maybe you need to be practicing more. Maybe you need to be playing with the youngsters or something. But I also think, he's in his position, he could probably do different. And for his confidence as well, I suppose, because he obviously knows what's expected of him.
Of course, I agree with you on that. So again, just going back to Manchester United injury. So we have said Pogba, Cavani struggling with fitness, as far as I understand. Van de Beek.
It's from all those scoring all those goals and runs. So he's at that age where he needs to take it a bit. So he might be our super sub.
Van de Beek, he could be on your bench. So, and I think Solskjaer is hopeful that McTominay will be back. And I think, like you said now, he is a key player for this fixture, for any fixture, actually. So I'm sure you and Solskjaer pretty much hoping that he returns very soon. So if we look at some key facts that I just managed to note in the week. So United obviously have a strong recent record at Stamford Bridge. Okay, they've won 3 in all competitions at Stamford Bridge. But it is worth noting that United have never won 4 on the bounce at Stamford Bridge.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because this would be the 4th one. So, and Chelsea, I'd imagine, would be wary of this fact.
Yeah.
So are they
we don't want to break that? Yeah.
Because, I think it would be absolute fire if, you lose the game and a record is broken. It's almost like a double whammy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so that I found interesting. Chelsea, if you look at Chelsea have kept 3 clean sheets at home under Tuchel. And I'm guessing they're going to want to make this 4 for the first time in over 4 years. Do you know that as well? That's quite interesting.
They seem to be playing better at home as well.
Yeah,
I think they'll get the 4 if they've got Kepa in the polls. Yeah, I think they'll get that. Karius was reborn through Kepa.
And now he's being reborn through Ellison.
Don't talk about our ex-manager like that, okay?
Oh yes. Oh, I remember that.
Please.
Imagine telling the manager.
Please, player managers, it's very rare these days.
No, but
All
Chelsea's
right.
renowned for that. You had Ravanelli, all those guys, right guard, all of them were player coaches. So I mean, he was trying to follow in the legends' footsteps.
Anyway, but let's look at Manchester United. Look, they are in excellent away form. I mean, I think you haven't lost a game away in, I think it's 19 games. Am I right? It's quite a stat. Tell me, Bradley, players to watch for the match on Sunday. Give me who you think are going to be the key name. Yes, we know Bruno Fernandes. We're getting there after Bruno Fernandes.
I think it's if Kante plays, it might be a difficult game for Bruno. And that's a key thing. But I really would like to see a different Martial. Somebody running off the ball, running into gaps. This is the problem that I have with Martial. He's good. He's got some pace, his physicality, and yes, he can score. But I watched him yesterday in the game against Real Sociedad, and he wasn't running into the gaps as he should to create those opportunities.
Right.
But I see our wingers, either if he's starting with Greenwood or Rashford, key individuals to at least exploit the backs there, depending if Alonso's going to start. Tuchel might go with a 3 at the back. Not sure what his process would be. So it's going to be interesting. I think the key person for me in this would be someone like Alfredo McTominay. Somebody that's going to break up your attack and start the process for us. So I'm really looking. I think this is going to be won in the mid, and mainly I think towards a defensive mid. Whoever's going to defend well, definitely we're going to see that team being the tops. Hopefully ours. Yes, we've got some injuries and stuff, but look, these are professionals, big teams. Whether you like it or not, Chelsea and Man United in the Premier League era have won the most trophies from any other team. So this is going to be a big, and it's pride. It's all about the pride. And this game is extremely important both for top 4 and trying to keep our sights on City, who's also playing phenomenal football.
Yeah, City are definitely something else. Nessa, who are your key players? Who do you think is going to shine or could possibly shine on Sunday?
I think, I really am impressed with Giroud this season. And I think definitely, I think he should be up front. I think they should play the same formation that we did against Atletico Madrid.
Right.
And I do think that in the middle we should have Jorginho and Kovacic, but I think Kante needs to come on, but I don't know if they'll actually start him. Right. But I do think he needs to come on at one stage. And Mount, I think I really rate Mount. I think he's another, almost like another Frank Lampard or Eden Hazard in the making type of thing. And not only on skill and how he plays, performance, but just on his character even. I can see there's like leadership in him potentially, and his whole attitude and the way he plays and so forth. So, but and I think we do need a very strong backline needs to start, because I really think we're going to be landing up defending a lot. I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping there's going to be goals. I really hope we're going to see goals, and it's not going to be the ball draw kind of,
Yeah. I must admit, I'm sad that Thiago Silva is out.
Yeah.
Christensen at the back worries me. He has always worried me. He has always been a complaint on Twitter. He has always been a complaint on Facebook. And now there was a clean sheet against Atletico Madrid in the week. So now I'm hoping this gives him confidence and it doesn't mess up on Sunday. But I will be very honest and very truthful. I am not hopeful when it comes to Christensen. I pray very hard. I think Chelsea fans pray very hard when they see him there. I mean, I don't even know how you guys, Chelsea fans, survived when seeing Kepa and Christensen in the starting lineup. Oh, good, my goodness me.
But then they surprise us. You got to you got to trust that the coach, the manager, knows exactly what he's doing. And
yes,
and I mean, I think under Tuchel, I mean, it's only been a few games, but I mean, you can already see, as much as I still want Frank, you can already see the difference, and they need to win. And I think what happened with Frank, in my opinion, is that perhaps there was too much familiarity with him, or with certain players that he. And as usual, what happens is, in these big teams, that they get upset with their manager. They don't want to play. Yeah. You could see it in the personality on the field, where they would go a goal down, and then suddenly they would you could see they were like giving up, and you just knew like there was going to be a sort of slaughter coming on or whatever. And unfortunately, it got to the point where Frank had to go, because you need to be in top 4. Money matters at the bottom line, revenue, all that kind of thing. So I think under Tuchel now, maybe Christensen is more revived. Maybe you can see there's more potential in him, and I mean, they've managed to have the 3 clean sheets, 3 games. So I'm a bit more hopeful. But as I said, I mean, I'm not as probably into it as much as I used to be. But I think we stand a good chance on Sunday, actually.
Right. So I'm going to show you. So you've touched on your key players, Mason Mount and Olivier Giroud. Right. Yeah. So let's talk about Mason. Both of you can comment on it. It's open to both. Let's talk about Mason Mount. And there he is. Can you see him? Can everybody see him? Right, there he is. Let's talk about, so I've got a friend, his name is Earl. I hope he's watching. He calls him Money Mace. That is his nickname for him. A lot of criticism for this young lad, and it all started with Frank Lampard's son. That was dubbed.
Frank probably sees Frank in Mason.
He probably does. He probably does.
I can see something with the nose. The nose looks kind of.
I mean, in the way he plays and I mean, he played at Derby, so he knows him, and I think he can see that potential in him.
Definitely, I think sorry, Bradley, carry on.
No, I think when he came with Frank to Chelsea, I mean, he hit the floor running in the team,
right?
Yeah,
and just a burst of energy that comes. So I don't know under Tuchel if it's the same, right. And it's I mean, it's like if you look at Ronaldo, Nani, all the old boys, when it came to Sir Alex Ferguson, they still refer to him as boss. So I think that umbilical cord needs to be cut between Mount and Lampard, and he needs to get you. But I see a bright future, particularly for England, especially with kids like this coming up, your Greenwoods across board. So he is somebody to look out for, especially at Stamford Bridge.
But he also does things right, I think. Like, the way he's been taught, and he really listens, he really takes it in. He makes mistakes like they all do, and also I think he's got great character, and I think he has potential to be a leader, a captain, quite honestly.
I totally agree with you. Look, I read an article, Joe Cole backed Mount to become one of Chelsea's greatest players, simply because he feels, if you look at his maturity levels, I mean, it's something to talk about. It's notable because he's literally been keeping his levels high through the club's sort of bad run of form before Lampard was sacked. And he's still keeping that level high, even though it is not Lampard. Because one would have thought, okay, well, Lampard's gone. I'm going to go with him. I'm going to ask for a transfer in the January window. You would have thought that would be his approach to it, but it isn't. He is still, and I still think, one of Chelsea's best players right now, alongside Giroud.
And I think he's loyal to the club. He's loyal to the club.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, the son will always follow the father, and he didn't. He chose to stay, so, yeah.
Look, that's a very good way to put it.
Yeah. I think for me, your only issue is the problem is once they get so good, then you get the likes of the Barcelonas, the Madrids come
Coming.
knocking on
Yeah.
the door. For me, if we look at Hazard, I think Hazard 2 more years with this. If Hazard was in this Chelsea team, my word, they would have been a force.
Disaster.
Yeah. Instead of him sitting on the injury list at Madrid all the time.
It breaks
So-
my heart seeing Hazard in the situation that he is. If I'm very
Not so much
honest,
Couture, we're
as a
happy with
football
him.
fan, it's
Yeah, but
very,
he
it's
did
very heartbreaking.
well. He did so well for Chelsea. I mean, imagine. And
Yeah.
his time was up. He knew he just didn't have it anymore. But when he played for Chelsea, I mean, he was just. I think Mason Mount could even become like him if he stays at Chelsea. He could become another Hazard.
Definitely. All right, let's look at this player. Vanessa, you are going to love this one. So let's talk about him. You touched on him as well. How amazing was that goal, though? I think we can all agree it was fantastic.
I think I've always liked Giroud, even when he was at that other team. But that team that was down in the bottom there somewhere. What position are they again? I can't even remember.
I think they 10th. Are they 10th? I think
something
they 10th.
like that. Something like that. Anyway, I've always liked him, and he's also for his age. That guy is amazing. He is so super fit.
It's 34.
I know, and he actually maintained his fitness level to probably like the level of a 25-year-old, and his experience and skill. And I think he scores at the right time. He comes on at the right time. He used to come off the bench, if I remember, last season, and he used to also score these goals that saved us, kind of thing. But
yes,
I really, really feel that I think he should start. Like we should play that 3-4-2-1, and he should be our striker.
Right.
It sounds like you have a crush on him.
Well, he is hot.
Really
Freaking hot.
Listen. Atletico Madrid played a 6-3-1 formation, and a 34-year-old gets the goal and breaks the deadlock. I mean, it's what you love to see as a Chelsea fan, I'd imagine.
How many goals has he scored?
Because the other 33-year-old didn't bite him.
Worrying.
I would have been very concerned if that was the case.
I think his wife gave him an ultimatum, Suarez, long ago already, that if he continues that behavior, she's leaving him. And he actually got help for it.
He did. Apparently, he did. He went for a psychiatrist and all of that. He did. He went to go and see someone about it. Because we all remember that bite on Ivanovic. You didn't even need VAR for that. That was in broad daylight. I gaped that day. I was like, what is this guy doing?
Anyway, so I really rate Giroud, and I think he's still got a lot in him. Obviously he's not as fast as the younger players, but he's pretty good shape. Health, exercise-wise, and he's got a good work ethic. Like similar to, I'm not going to compare him to Ronaldo on that level, but the work ethic, he's got very much the same. And I think that plays a big role as well. If the right attitude, the right work ethic and so forth, and it shows. And I think he's going to be chosen a lot under Tuchel. I really do.
Yeah, Tuchel did mention that, Giroud apparently trains like a 16-year-old. That's why he wasn't surprised at the type of goal that he bagged in the week. So, look, here's the thing. He's out of contract in the summer. I do think he will be looking still to get maybe one more season in. And Chelsea would actually, I think, they'd be insane to not just take him just for that one more season.
What would they do if they don't? I think they're probably going to look for another striker. If they don't, they will have to keep him. Depending on how the season goes as well. That's why it's so important to stay in the top four.
Other teams are signing 72-year-old Cavani. So, do you have nothing to worry about?
72-year-old is winning games, scoring more than this.
But that's the thing. Some of these players, they sign for a season, they come in and they just do wonders, and then
yes,
and it's amazing. Look, I think it's also good for the youngsters to show them as well.
So we've got a statement rather. I think you pronounce it Siddharth. I don't know if I pronounced it right. I'm really sorry if I didn't. I think that now the average age for retirement has now changed to like 37, 38. Do you agree?
Look at Zlatan. Zlatan's 39. He came on yesterday for AC Milan and still performing at those levels. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Messi and you look at Ronaldo. I don't see them quitting anytime soon.
Right.
No,
Same with,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
think
you've
it's
got
definitely
Matic, all these older guys.
dependent on the player, and you can see which player is ready, not ready to retire by their fitness level, by their attitude, and so forth. And then you get other players who, struggling, younger ones who are struggling.
Definitely.
So,
okay, let us move on to Manchester United. Here we go. Give me a second. Let's chat about this player. Always at the center of attention. Always.
Hope he's not Jesse Lingard.
Woo! Close. No, I'm joking. There he is. Fernandes.
Yes.
Fernandes. Tell us. Talk to me about Fernandes. Listen, people.
is he the penalty guy?
He is the
Is he the
penalty.
Alex Ferguson? Is he the Alex Ferguson extra time guy? That's what they coach him to like in extra time.
No, but listen, I feel a bit of bias here. I mean, out of all the pictures, what is this?
Right. I'll tell you
This
why.
is a chest out. I mean, let's get it right. There's some stature here. This is a young Cantona mixed with a bit of, all of them in one, man. This is one of the greats. This guy's come and changed the Premier League over and over. And I don't think we're ever going to get a new person come into the Premier League and hit the floor running like Bruno Fernandes.
Agreed. That is fact.
Yeah.
But you know what the thing I like about him is his attitude, just that winning mentality. And he's come from a club like Sporting, okay? Yes, not the greatest. They you've got Porto, Benfica. Those are always the good teams in the Portuguese league. But comes into this team at a time when they were at their worst and decides, this is a future captain if he stays. My only issue is he's so good that all these bigger clubs and with all this money is going to come a calling soon. And if we don't win any trophies or show some progressiveness, we're going to lose this talent. But this guy, brilliant.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to sort of speak about him because it's probably the most talked about Manchester United player and the most predictable player that people will talk about. But my thing is, how can you not talk about him? He does so much for the team. He contributes so much to that team. I mean, it's no wonder there's a lot of hate when it comes to Bruno Fernandes. But he's the package. He does what he has to. And like you say, he came into the Premier League, he hit the ground running, there were no questions asked. It's the kind of player you love to hate as a rival, I'd imagine.
So can I ask you a question, Bradley? Without him in the team, if he was injured or he couldn't play, what do you think would there be a difference, do you think? Or is the team pretty much solid at the moment?
Of course, we'd be fighting for relegation.
Seriously. So it's like,
no, seriously. That's the impact. Even when he doesn't score or assist, the fact that he will continue fighting and he will rev the teams up. I've seen him even shout the captain when Maguire's made a couple of mistakes, which is all the time.
Wow.
But he keeps on. He's one of those guys that is your top performer. You want to keep happy. For the past couple of years, we've had the likes of our goalkeeper and Luke Shaw winning Player of the Year in Man United. We finally have somebody who's put us in that top four. To be honest with you, if he wasn't there last year, we would have never made top four. Yes, I think when I look at him, we needed to build a team around him. And I hope that Solskjaer sees that and starts to build it. My only issue with our manager right now that he's become a bit too predictable in the other areas, But if ever there's a game changer, it's Bruno. And sometimes he's actually better when he comes on as a sub versus starting. So interesting to see what actually happens on Sunday.
You think there'll be a penalty from our friend over
Of
here?
course, yes. VAR. Our 12th man. VAR.
It's going to be, that penalty's going to be safe, though, by the way. It's going to be safe.
No, he's going to jump just like Jorginho.
I really hope there's not going to be a lot of cards in the game on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't want it to be spoiled.
Yeah.
I really just don't want it to be spoiled. Okay, can I quickly just jump in here? Can I just talk about this player before we move on? So I want to talk about this player. Brady, I want to get your insight on this because there's a lot of love to hate here, and yeah, he's just, let's go. Talk to me about this man. All sorts of drama and things surrounding him.
Thank you,
so
next.
Let's talk here.
So, Maguire, I think the biggest thing for me is if we go back a couple of years, we're talking about that big price tag on him now. And that's what's the fuel a lot of the times from the media, from rival fans. We paid so much for him. Yes, did we anticipate when we paid that amount that we were going to get somebody like Virgil van Dijk? Of course, yes. I mean, he was doing phenomenal at Leicester, but didn't have that pressures that comes with wearing this T-shirt, especially with the media. So he has some great games. Don't get me wrong. He's able to read some of the forwards. He's able to push his physicality aside, but he also has some games where he makes some horrible mistakes where you know, and you don't know what you're going to get on the particular day. I do see during the game when he gets into it, he starts to move a little forward and starts those runs and pushing into the midfield. When that actually takes place, you tend to see a better game from Maguire. But if he starts just sitting back and his confidence actually takes a bit of a blow, and that's when we see a lot of mistakes taking place.
Vanessa, are you looking forward to seeing him on Sunday? Would you like to see him on Sunday? Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Hopefully you'll be making a lot of mistakes that we'll take advantage of.
What about the pairing of Maguire and Lindelof? Apparently, I mean, it's been an absolute nightmare of late. Can you comment on that quickly, Brad?
Yeah, look, I think any pairing in our centre halves is an issue right now. I'm hoping that we look and go out there and try and get a Koulibaly or what's that guy's name from RB, Peko, or I'm pronouncing it wrong. I don't know, but somebody solid like that. I think the problem with Maguire is he needs a good, strong, solid defender next to him, and I think we'll start to see a better performance coming up from him, or vice versa, somebody close to Lindelof, as well as Barley. So because he's also been performing, but that is an area that we've got a whole lot of issues in, because also sometimes he thinks he's Maradona at the back when he should just clear the damn ball as well. So those two. Oh, here's a good statement.
Right, here's a statement. This is Terasai. I don't know if everybody knows Terasai. Terasai is very big on fan zone. He's the Arsenal fan that makes a very big noise. So there is his Terasai. Did you just say Maguire? Okay, Maguire is a good player. I would welcome him at Arsenal.
I think they'd welcome anyone at Arsenal right now.
Right now, yeah.
Well, you know, they are. They like to take, you know, teams seconds.
Wait, who's Arsenal's defense, by the way? Isn't it your leftovers?
One, David Luiz.
Yeah,
One is
David
there.
Luiz.
Yeah.
One is there. Yeah. All right. So let's have a look. So can you give me I want to talk about. So you've said what you feel is going to happen on Sunday. My opinion is that I think it's going to be a cagey affair. I am hoping to see a lot of goals. I'm not going to say which way. I don't think either is going to accept defeat, especially if they're looking to consolidate the top four. I do suspect a draw. So my prediction is going to be 1-1. Bradley, give me a score prediction. First thing that comes to your head.
2-1 for United.
Okay, Vanessa?
I think 2-1 last minute goal.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Chelsea.
Right. Any of the viewers, if you can leave a score prediction here, we could maybe have a look at it. I want to share one last thing. This was the biggest controversial moment, should I say, listen to me. Controversial moment of the game when we went to, where was it? Old Trafford on the 25th of October. I think it was the 25th. That's the first day. So this was the center and the focus point of it all. So look at that. You remember this? Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? Are we going to see something like this again? Is it going to be this again? What do you think?
No, I don't know. So I don't know if Maguire was holding him or is he falling down? What is up with Aspilicueta there? What is he trying?
Oh, Vanessa, climb in there.
That's my boyfriend, Aspilicueta.
No one Spanish players only
This caused a lot of controversy because
I remember now, but wasn't there he got a card? He got a yellow card, or was he
got a yellow card?
Yeah.
No.
I thought he was
apparently VAR checked this, but nobody saw the check. That was the whole focus. It
that was the whole issue. I remember now. They didn't do anything about it, So but I mean, who was the ref in this game? Who was the ref in that game? I can't remember. Wasn't it?
Truth be, I can't remember. Oh, I know Mike Dean. I think it was Mike Dean. He had to go to the monitor. I could be wrong. Does anybody know that's watching? Does anyone remember who the referee was? If so, please leave a comment. I can't remember.
Look, but I really hope there isn't going to be like a dirty game tomorrow.
And that's my biggest issue is around VAR. Sometimes it works out for you, and it does. Yes, we've had a lot of times where it does, and sometimes it's against you. I always had this suggestion, and I thought this would be great. Like how they do it in cricket, you get 2 opportunities to go to VAR. As the captain, you make the choice. 2 per half. That's it. Not up to the refs, up to the players, because everyone goes running in VAR and then they check. I'm saying, like cricket, you've got 2 chances. You as the captain, you decide, okay, we want this to be checked, and that's it.
Yes.
Finished.
Exactly.
You've used it.
I also think so.
And then it's pretty much fair as well. And also, the ref has to make that final decision at the end of the day. And you don't want VAR every 5 minutes stopping the game. You want the continuity of the game to, So I agree in that aspect. If they,
And you know what the thing is? It's the emotion. Football is an emotional game. So at that emotion, when you score, all of a sudden I'm running in the house celebrating, only to stop and wait and see if VAR is going to say it's yay or nay. So I think for me, this option, whoever's listening out there, I give it to you freely. Don't need to pay. Don't pay me.
But you
Take it. Use it.
But you guys will miss VAR though, because VAR's like one of your players,
Yeah, we're in the same WhatsApp group, us and VAR.
So
but in these in the big games, it doesn't work for us. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So Caddy Club over here says, I just want to see a good game with plenty chances.
Yeah,
I think I can agree with you on that, Caddy Club. And then we've got another one here. This is from Travis. Travis Smithy. Vanessa, it seems like your boyfriend fell for Harry.
Travis.
He will always be, if he must leave, oh my gosh, and that's going to happen. I mean, he's also getting on and so forth. But
he is,
wow, that's also going to be quite emotional for me. I'll have to get.
What do you mean getting on? He's already on. He
was
around when Noah was building the ark.
And so that means
Oh
that
my
would mean
God.
Cavani and Thiago Silva were there long before then, I'd imagine.
Yes.
They were with Moses.
Oh, guys, it has been so amazing talking to you. Thank you so much for joining me on the
Thank you.
show.
Thank you.
I do hope the both of you get the result you want. So it would probably be a draw.
We're winning. We're winning. Chelsea's
That's
winning on
it.
Sunday. I've got to
Ole
go to
gonna
work.
win.
I've got to go to work on Monday and deal with Man United fans. There's no chance we are losing. I'm just telling you.
Thank God I work from home, so I can just switch them off if Chelsea fans call me. So yeah, let's
Just
see
switch
how
your
it
Wi-Fi
goes.
off. Switch your Wi-Fi off. You don't take any calls that day. Anyway, I wish you the best of luck for that. Thank you to everybody who did watch. Thank you so much for your comments, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Enjoy the Premier League fixtures this weekend. Vanessa and Bradley, you have tomorrow to warm up, and Sunday to warm up. 6:30. You go head to head. I'm hoping it's a good game. But anyway, thank you guys for being with me.
Thank you.
I will see you soon. And bye to all our viewers. Thank you so much for joining. Mwah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite.
Bye.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.